What's up, man? That's good, bro. That's good. Congrats. Again, if any background noise, just bear with me, guys. I apologize. So, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope all of you guys are doing good. What's up, Matt? Having my coffee here. I needed a boost, man. Spent the whole day grilling outside, and then I got sleepy. Oof, man. I came back inside not too long ago. Had a great afternoon with the kids out. We have a swing set and all that kind of stuff in the yard. They were playing around, jumping around. I was just sitting on my patio set under my gazebo, and I was just, sipping my wine and having my steak and all that kind of stuff. I spent a pretty good afternoon out there today. So, my apologies for those waiting for the recap. I didn't really record the recap yet today. But I wanted to give some time to the family as well. And as you guys can see, I'm here now with you, giving you uh, my time as I always try to do at night. So, what's up, guys? How was your day today? Having my espresso coffee here. Green is always good. Green is actually pretty good. That's the way it's supposed to be. Or at least that we try to maintain it. Being green. I'm sorry, but I'm enjoying my coffee here while I'm with you guys. So if you have any questions, jump onto the questions right away. If not, I'm just gonna start scanning. And welcome to those joining the stream tonight. Any questions, just write it down, please. And I'll be answering the questions. If there's no questions, I'll jump into the scanning session right away. Okay, I'm gonna read the messages now. I apologize. Great. What's up? No, I short as well. Wherever you can find opportunities, just a matter of finding the shares to short. Oftentimes, not every single broker have shorts, but this is the reason why you need to have different brokers, and I definitely recommend having different brokers because of that. You can find if one of your brokers doesn't have shares to short, chances are you can find shares in another broker. And a lot of brokers don't trade. Well, I never use E Trade, but you could short on E Trade. Yes, of course. It's E Trade. I heard people. So I apologize. My daughter just stormed into the room, and I had to mute the mic. Again, I'm sorry. I'm enjoying my espresso coffee here. Just got back inside from the yard. I was grilling all afternoon, enjoying time with the family here. So again, E-Trade accounts are good. There's a lot of people are short and they use E-Trade now. Again, not every single time you will find shares to short, and this is the reason why having different brokers is a good thing, because sometimes you can find shares in a broker when the other shares doesn't have any when the other broker doesn't have any shares to short. Let me see what happens if you in a stock and while well, they'll if it has a reverse split, they will try to give you the same value that supposedly you had. They will make the numbers trying to supposedly, for example, if you're holding an amount of shares and the whole value of the stock or the whole amount of holdings that you have is, let's say, $10,000. If it reverse splits, they will try to give you the same $10,000 for stock. But if it reverse split and it's like 1 for 10, then it's still gonna give you a more value per share. And if it's 10 for 1, then they will give you a less value per share, but they still will give you the same $10,000. So um, it's a pattern that will run. Or give me a second, guys. So again, they'll oh sure they still will give you try to give you the same amount of money that you have in your holdings after the reverse split. Now the market will react in a different way depending on what the market sentiment will be after the reverse split. They might take it one way or another. So the price of the stock will start to perform in a way or another, and that will probably hit your holdings, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. And if it starts plunging and you're long, well, then the value of your holdings, as a you know will decrease as the country. If it actually is short and the value goes down, then well, then it's going in your favor. So again, they will try to give you the same amount of value, quote unquote, of your holdings. Try to split the stocks into the holdings, and put same thing again. After the split happens, the stock will perform depending on what the market sentiment will be for that particular news, and that's actually what will actually hit your stock, what you hold in, the amount of shares and all that kind of stuff. That will be what really affects afterwards. And so going back to another question here. Oh, got it. No problem. I'll forget it. Well, let's see what else. Follow. Okay, this stock came up, and look at the area here. Now, if it was having a couple of breakouts and running up and breakouts and follow through, then I think I will say that we might end up having a good opportunity for a long here. But being that this is the only time that we're up here, and you can see a considerably amount of resistance around here, I don't know if we're gonna be able to have a breakout and a follow through move here, or if it's just going to roll over. AMEH. Yeah, we had a high 1970 here, and today we had a high of 1962. Pretty close to resistance. So I'll keep it on watch. Maybe this thing can roll over tomorrow. We can actually squeeze a nice short out of it. I'm gonna add this one up to the stocks that I'm actually watching. I'm planning on something. I've been thinking about this stuff in the last few days, and I don't know if I should jump into it or not. But I've been, and not because I'm trying to be a superhero or nothing like that, but I've been thinking about and not trying to force myself per se, but challenge myself in a little tiny way. And I want to see how far I could take the account. So I've been thinking about starting one of those quote unquote uh, small count challenges. And I don't know, I've been thinking about uh, funding an account with about like around two and a half, $3,000. See how my performance will go, and if I can probably stick to the rules and see how I will perform, and how far I could take the account. So I've been thinking about that kind of stuff in the last couple of days. And the same way, I've been thinking if that's actually going to help me better serve people with smaller accounts in regards to the challenges or the everyday questionings and the things that people go through. And again, it's taking into consideration the brokers and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking about that. I've been actually thinking about it for the last couple of days. And if I do it, I'm going to end up funding an account. Uh, I don't know, probably on Wednesday to to do that, to have a little bit more. I don't know. Man, I swear to God, I really try to be my superhero. But I think here's the thing. Here's what I've been thinking. I've been asking questions and helping you guys out a lot, and the question that you guys are posting every day, and for example, the things that you guys are going through and the challenges on your personal trading accounts and all that kind of stuff. I've been noticing a couple of different things here and there, and so for me to better serve you, I've been thinking, how about if I put myself in their shoes? How will that actually, help them at the end of the day? So, that's something that I've been thinking about. That I don't know you know, if it will help or not, but I've been really thinking about it. It might help. Uh, so I've just been thinking about it, to be honest. Let's see. Dude, you gotta try the espresso thing. I get coffee from like, I don't deal with the regular type of coffee. This is it's called Bustelo. It's a yellow packaging and stuff, and it's pretty. Like I haven't tried all those black bullet coffees, or I didn't even know how to call it. I heard that those are pretty strong, but this one here, for this one, I can't really talk about this one. I can advocate for this one. It's pretty good. And I can sip it all day long, man. It's so good. Every time I need a boost, I just get a nice coffee. It sounds pretty good. Hey, my apologies today. During the day, it's I was talking to my aunt, and I haven't talked to my aunt in like so long, bro. It's like crazy. And so, funny thing is, she found me on Instagram. I'm like, hey, I thought you had my number. It's like, no, I don't. Like, I found you on Instagram, and I just sent you a DM. I'm like, oh, who's this? And she sent me a number and stuff, and I called. And funny, we didn't talk like it for years, and so it was fun. It was fun talking to her. She moved back to Long Island and stuff. She was letting me know that she was Long Island. Funny thing, I moved out of Long Island, and now she moved back into Long Island. So uh, that'll be something. So she was just telling me, hey, if you want to come through and stuff, you can do that. And so, you know, getting in touch with the family. And today was such a beautiful day. I didn't want to, like I wanted to do a couple of things, and write a couple like articles and make the recap and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't want to waste the whole day in here in the house. It was such a good day outside. The weather is getting nice the way I like it. The breeze is kind of cool. Uh, Fall is coming through, and not too long from now. And I wanted to enjoy the day outside. Really, I really wanted to. So I said, "No, what? Man, the last the charcoal that I had, I used it yesterday. So I said, you know what? Let me go out, buy some more charcoal, get, you know, some ribs and ribeyes and steak and lobster and some shrimp and stuff, and just throw it in there. Like, it was good. I really had a lot of fun. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm getting tired of that heat myself. What is this? Such a low volume stock. I know, man. I used to live there for a couple of years. I went from Long Island to New England for a few years. Then I went back to Long Island, and then I moved to the city, meaning the city, like when I said the city, this is how people call it here. Moved to New York City, and then I said, you know what? I'm tired of being in the city. Let me move out of the city. New York is pretty expensive, though. I like it, though. Don't get me wrong. I love the city, but it's no place to be raising children, to be honest. Like, at least in my personal opinion. I know there's a lot of people that do it, but it's not something that you get a lot more for my money down here. Like, I'm like, hello, I'm 15 minutes away from New York City, to be honest. So I'm not really far from New York City, but I'm not in New York City. So, it's just that's whatever. Hey, there you go. You eating lobster, huh? Yeah, that's good. NDP. Okay. It's Here's the thing, guys. Let me show you something real quick here, because I find it to be pretty interesting. Running these guns are fun sometimes at night. Okay, $3.38. I find ENDP to have a spike right after the closing bell to $3.38, right here, right where the 50 is sitting. It's actually close by, but 351. Let me show you the 5. Look at that spike right after the close. I have no idea if he has any kind of news or what's going on here, but I find it to be interesting, and I found it on Finbis on my preset of the breakout charts. I have a set of things that I scan for, and this is about to break, right? So I find it there. Funny thing is that spiking up on the after hours session, or extended hours if you want to call it that way, spiked all the way to 338, and I have no idea why it's doing that, but I'll keep it on watch for tomorrow because it's pretty close to the 50 now. Funny thing is that it will be to watch if he has any kind of resistance, like if he can get over the 50 and just hold on over there, because the 50 is sitting on 351. We have $half resistance right there. So if we can get over that, I'll be watching the next level here, the high of this candle, $4.67. So let's see what's going to happen there tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I see the picture here. Dude, did you eat that whole thing? That's pretty big, man. That's pretty big, man. That's good. That's a nice lobster. That's a pretty nice lobster, man. Especially like New England lobster is the best thing, Maine. I used to live in New Hampshire. Like I was like 45 minutes away from Maine, and I spent a whole summer in like close by the lake, and so I was going to the lake like every afternoon, boating with my buddies and stuff, and drinking a lot, a little bit more than should say that I probably should have, because we used to build like pyramids of empty cans. At the end of the day, we used to take pictures and stuff, and we used to party like animals there. Like a couple of years ago, it was even before I met my wife. Just just keep the secret there. Don't tell her. I'm just whispering now, close to the mic. Yeah, I had a lot of fun over there. Couple of guys and doing stuff, and girls stripping, and guys dancing, and party next to the lake and all that kind of stuff. It was fun. It was good. I miss those days in New England. Home. Nice bike. Kind of on the cheap side here today. HDSN. Okay, let me add ENDP before I forget. I don't want to forget it. ENDP. So again, guys, I will be. What's the NDP 338? I'll be funding that account later during the week, and I'll definitely let you guys know when that's already set up, and I will be using that stuff to try to get a little bit closer to what you guys are going through. And again, I'll be like 2,500 to $3,000, because I think that should be like the area of somewhat I should be funding for a small account to see what I can do with it. Okay, we got Jill. Let's see Jill. Let me look at Jill here. We're using Finvest today. I also can go back to the scanners on Thinkorswim, and also scanners on TC2000. So for right now, we're using the scanners on Jill. Ah, God, what did I just say? The scanners on TC2000. We are trending very close to the 50. Look at the 5. Picking up a little momentum in the after hours. I wouldn't say it's the best thing. But today we have 1.9 million shares traded. And we have a pretty decent gap here on the high of this hammer here, 250. So it'll be interesting to watch over the 250, see what it does over the next couple of days. The gap, for example, the thing is that when you look at a daily chart, oftentimes, for example, the volume or the price action that happens in the pre-market hours and the extended hours of the day doesn't compute really on a chart for a um, daily candle, right? So after, for example, whatever happens before 9:30 in the morning, if the stock, as you've seen the last few days, gets a lot of momentum in the morning to the upside or the downside, all of that price action starts to happen pre-market before the market opens. But daily charts only compute from 9:30 to 4 o'clock, so from the open to the close. So they only compute the price range and the price action on one candle from when that candle opens and that candle closes. So the time for a daily candle to open is at 9:30, closes at 4 o'clock. So whatever happens before 9:30 and whatever happens after 9:30 does not compute on a daily candle. So this is the reason why you have candles, like you see those gaps in between one candle and the other. It's just because you had a lot of price action prior to the market open or after the market closed. And what it means, and what can happen is, like, when you see those stocks trending close to those gaps, you can see the gaps as a point of no resistance or support, depending on if you're trying to short the stock. You don't see support close by. That means that it can go all the way down to what the next level will be, the next candle. And if you see that the stock in this particular way is bouncing and it's getting close to the, if it gets over the 250, then it's gonna get inside of this pocket where it's no support, I mean no resistance. We see a level here under this candle closed, the low is for $3.54. So we could choose that level just as a key point. But the next level that I personally were looking for will be the high of this candle, 407. Because it's 407, it's close to the 4. I'll be looking more for the whole dollar area of the resistance here, right? So if we get inside of this pocket, we have no resistance in here, because what happened back here on this particular day right here, if you look at here, this area, what clearly shows is that we either had news or something happened over there, and there's a reason that the stock gapped down. So it was probably a bad news on the stock. So we're getting back into this area here where it shows no support or resistance here. Now, because we're looking for resistance, not support, because we are actually bouncing, not flushing, or um, uh, we're not looking for a short, right? So we're bouncing here. We're looking for the area of resistance, which in this case will be the 250 to get into the gap. And so the next level is 354, because this is the level of resistance that we're looking for in the daily. And again, the reason why this thing happened is because it probably took a lot of price action, either pre-market or after hours, and the following day it just gapped down and flushed because of probably bad news on the stock. So we right now we have no resistance here on the daily, and if we could break over the 50 simple moving average and then go over the $2.50, then we can probably push all the way to 354. Now, being so close to 354 here, being so close to the half dollar area here of resistance, I'll be looking at 350 more than the 354, because we are a couple of cents away from the resistance right here at 350. Let's see what else. Correct. Either it could have been after hours, and for example, if the news come out after hours, price action, everything starts to drop, and the following morning, then we probably end up having follow through on those news, and people keep on selling, and there's a reason why you see this huge gap down here. So it could have it could have happened. If you notice, the first thing that happened here was that you have a red candle here, for example. So that shows that we had probably news that came out, and they started to flush. inside of this candle here. And when actually we closed, it just kept on the after hour price action or standard hours. It just kept on flushing. God knows where it got to, but let's say it got to the middle of this pocket here, right? And then the following morning, 9:30, from that point, before market open at 9:30, it kept on picking up steam. The shorts started to get control because everybody was shorting the stock from the prior day, even when the market was open. And from midpoint here on this pocket, just kept on picking up steam to the downside, right? And it flushed all the way here. You can see clearly that the stock opened down here, close to this trend here for the square, right? And then he tried to push over. A couple of people were actually covering. The price action sent the price of stock to the upside. It rolled over a little bit. We have a little bit of a bounce, and then they were not able to hold it there, so you just kept on flushing down for the rest of the day. Closed, but a following day, another red day, and another red day, and then another red day. So it's just that sometimes stocks come out with news either early morning or in the afternoon, and just if again a daily candle will not compute the price action in the pre-market section of the day or the extended hours session of the day. So that's actually what happened here on this particular stock on Jill, and this is the reason why you see this huge pocket here with no support and resistance. And usually, long traders, if you're looking for a long, they try to get over this pocket here, like the resistance right here. Try to get inside of this pocket because we have a $1 range here, and you obviously you need to take in consideration that you have the 100 simple moving average here, kind of midway, sitting here at, for example, 305, right? Pretty close to the whole dollar area of resistance. Okay, so over there I'll be expecting, for example, a little micro pullback and then a follow-up move, so probably some follow-through for the next 50 cent all the way to the 350, 354. If it's able to break here, then we have another 50-cent pocket over here. But particularly long bias traders that we're looking to get, people will do either one or two things. Traders will try to jump into the stock in anticipation to the move, trying to get paid if it breaks the 50 simple moving average here all the way to the 250, and try to probably load the boat in anticipation to the move, right? Around the 250, try to get paid here, maybe 3/4 out, half out, or something like that. See if we can break the 250, because if we can break the 250, the next area that you have to watch is two things, but both of them are pretty close to each other. One is the 100 simple moving average, and the other thing is the whole daily whole area of resistance. And both of them are pretty close to each other because the 100 is sitting at 305, and the whole dollar area and the 305, we're talking about 5 cents away. So a lot of people will be jumping into the stock in anticipation to the break or the actually test of the 250, taking a half out, 3/4 out, and waiting to see if we can break over that level, probably add some, and then jump in anticipation again, adding some, hoping to get close to the whole dollar resistance around 3, or again, which is pretty close to each other. This really doesn't matter. 100 simple moving average or the whole area of the resistance, then getting paid around there to at least getting half out or 3/4 out, and then for the next push over to the 350. It's very important not to try to be a superhero and let the stock run all the way without getting paid. If you can get paid on the way there and you can extract something out, then if the things roll over on your opposite side of your trade, at least you have half out, 3/4 out, and you already have a lot. So if it ends up reversing and you have to sell for a 15-cent loss on that 1/4 that you were holding, at least you were just, end up for a little, let's say a little loss in 1/4 because it really pulled back, but you were already paid in 3 quarters. And so again, this is a couple of ways for you to trade this. Again, I'm looking at the daily here, and I'm giving you an idea of how I will do this, and probably a lot of loan bias traders will do it in an intraday session of the market. So that's something that, just again, giving you my personal opinion on how I would actually trade this thing. Just a reminder, guys, always uh, just refresh your uh, stream, just in case we have a delay. No problem, man. No problem. Again, I like answering the questions, because at the same time, I notice where you guys are having issues, and the type of things that you have, you need help with, and um, that helped me again kind of refresh my mind about all of that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's good to think in a loud voice and not only in your head, so that way you can hear yourself saying whatever you're saying. The subconscious mind picks up on that kind of stuff. So again, if you want to have something later on in your life or whatever, I really truly believe that you could call into action whatever you want, but it's not only a mental thing. You have to believe it, and but it will be a good thing just to call it out and say it out loud. um, I think it's a little bit more powerful when you actually say what you believe you will be able to do. It's a reminder, as a sign of appreciation, if you do like the stream, just give it a like, please, and I appreciate that in advance. I thank you for your time here as well. Let's see, let's jump into something else. Man, I've been watching DPLO for the longest time, but I'm gonna take it out. This thing is not doing anything. This thing is not doing anything at all. Adding Jill to my daily watch list at over the $250 area. Expecting this thing to get over the $half. I don't know if maybe tomorrow, depending on how it starts, I might end up getting some in anticipation to the move. Today there was a stock that was okay, although again it didn't had a crazy amount of volume. I was able to get something out of it using key levels of support and resistance on the daily, and the stock was CDXS. CD, let me just put it here. CDXS. So it ended up being a pretty good trade here for me on that one, and I was using key levels of support and resistance on the daily, because you know I merely, to be honest, took a chance on the stock, and it wasn't such a big trade. It was only a little over $150, but it really it counts at the end of the day, at least to pay for the lobster and the steak and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Man, my coffee's done already. Yes, can't believe it. And I was looking at my cup here. I was like, oh, I'm done with that coffee a long time ago. I forgot about that. All right. Any other questions? I keep on scanning. Keep on scanning. Jill looking good. I just added Jill to the daily watch list here. And I'm looking at this stock here. Possible reversal. And the stock is MCRB. Let's see. MCRB. Oh, I think we were looking at this stock for some reason. I got some trend lines over there. So I think we were already looking at this one the last few days. But we're really close to resistance 401. 401 right here. Pretty close to resistance. And one of the things that I like about this short is that 398.50. It's actually, I mean, the 100 is sitting there. Although we're trading inside and, in between the 50 and the 100, uh, might end up being a good short, especially here. Look at this thing here. Let's see. Look at the stochastics, right? We're getting into the top. Like Alexandria Ocasio Cortez says, the TP tops, TP tops, right? So we're getting into the TP tops here. Hey, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. Just this is not political stuff here. I'm just making some fun though, and I'm not making fun of somebody. I'm just using somebody's quote, just in case, guys. Let's not get political here, and don't get offended, please. But if you look at the stochastics here, we're getting into the top, and we're getting pretty close to resistance here. So I'll be actually looking for a rollover in this stock over the next couple of days. Momentum is showing that we might end up shifting, rolling over to the downside. And we can see right here a hanging man, right? Although we had a follow up candle, it's been green, but the candle didn't break the prior high. We have a 395 and 389. So the 100 sitting too close, and the resistance right here sitting at 401, right at whole dollar or resistance. So I think that for the next few days we could probably see the stock roll over to the downside here. No, man. Hey, I'm not. I'm not. Hey, I'm not, man. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm so look. I'm not capable of laughing at her. I know. I'm just messing with you, man. I just don't want to get political. Again, I try to keep my political views for myself, and the thing is that you know everybody has an opinion though, and I like not to. We talk. We're here for something else other than political stuff. At the end of the day, I don't think you know. Anyway, that off topic. That's it. Cut it out. I'm not gonna talk about it no more. Um. So let's see here. Let me see if I can find another stock here using the TC2000 scanners. See what's going on here. I'm pretty close to support here if you look at this area. But I don't know if I'm gonna have enough money if I get that small account challenge, whatever. I'll probably end up having just like being able to take like 100 shares of this thing, so it's probably gonna not gonna be worth it. Um, RC, my friend today, RC, ARCI. The only good thing was just like the spike at the open. Other than that, there wasn't such a good thing going on today. I see for me, to be honest with you, I didn't really trade it. The spread was too wide, and 15-cent spread and stuff like that. I try not messing with those kind of stocks like that when these things are happening like that. thing is that that can actually screw you. You could try to make a couple of $1,000 and you can end up getting a hit by 1,000. So I don't know, man. I mean, when stocks are like this, there's a lot of people that try to, oh yeah, low floaters, yeah, 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 whatever. But I don't know. I turn out to be a little bit more conservative now with my trading. And when I see a stock like that with low float, it's fine with me though. And I don't blame anybody for that. But when it comes down to the spread being like that, I try to get away from that kind of stuff. Again, the reason why I think about Cree short, I'll definitely take a look at that. Um, if you try to chase a little bit of the stock and you buy on the ask, and then things actually come out to be in the opposite way that you were thinking, and you need to kind of bail out, and you gotta hit the bid. Trust me, it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna hurt you bad, bad. It's gonna hurt you pretty bad. So I try not to be a superhero. I really try not to do that, and I try to get away from stocks like that are actually low floaters like that with huge spread. So, hey Matt, so funny thing, I was talking to my wife, my aunt, and my aunt was telling me that my cousin's husband, right? So her daughter, her husband, um, was actually looking at my Instagram account. It was looking at me posting stuff on Instagram about the stock market, and she saw him one day. So I have another person that want to learn from me, and so she saw him doing something with some charts, and she didn't really understand or nothing like that, and she all of a sudden told him, "Hey, my nephew actually does that kind of stuff." And he was like, "Oh, really?" Now it seems like he want to talk to me about all of that kind of stuff, all of the good trading stuff. So I'm gonna have another person trying to learn. uh, so I have you guys that I'm working kind of close with, and I have my wife that I'm teaching. Now this other guy that wants to learn as well. And that's fine. I don't know him too well, but we're, like I said, we're a family because he married my cousin, right? So anyway, just throwing something out there. Just, I don't know, talking BS today. Let's see what else. Oh, Creed. Let's see, Creed. Oh, okay. So hold up. Before that, ARDX here, trading very close to resistance, 390. Today's high. Oh, 390 as well. Pretty interesting here. So 390 on the high of the prior high here, and 390 as well today. It was not able to break the 390, and if you notice, just retrace from there and pull back a little bit. Now this area here is interesting. This topping candle here showing me that we might end up having a reversal. And because we got long wicks over here, we might end up having a pretty good short. So a lots and lots of self-study, to be honest. I know. Trust me. I know that firsthand. Um, I'm gonna be watching this stock, ARDX, over the next couple of days. We might end up rolling over here for the downside and just flushing down. Might end up being a nice short. And because of the price point of the stock and funding that new account thing, we might end up having a pretty decent short over the next couple of days. I noticed that. Let me see. Great. I don't know if you're still here. I'm wondering if you have any other question though. So I noticed that a couple of the guys that are in the stream or gals are not asking questions. So just wondering if you guys are still here and you got any questions now that it's about to be 9 o'clock. Time flies. Certainly does when you do something that you like. And not because I'm being paid for this stuff, but Finbiz is a good place to find ideas of stocks to trade and stuff like that. Yeah, man. That's the 3Ds. Most definitely. Hey, my apologies for the background noise, but kids are playing. And although the house is big, I can still hear the noise up here. Looking at QTT, problem is here that there's not really not a lot of range on this chart. Although the candles are pretty small, it doesn't seem like he has a long range. No moves. So what is that? Yeah, it doesn't move too much though. I don't know. I'll let it go. I just let it go. Looking at charts will help you guys and me as well. Anyway, um, see a bunch of different patterns. So when you see patterns like this developing in front of your eyes, and then, for example, if you were looking at something that was printing, and although you probably didn't trade it, next time you go through it and you see what was actually happening, you end up seeing what the print of the whole pattern was. Next time you see a pattern developing like that, you can probably recognize what the thing it's actually going to do next time around. So that will probably help you out a lot in your trading. We just got this pocket field here. We're sitting on the 50. To be honest with you, I'm not too sure about this one. Nah, no, it's not worth my time. Well, at least this one has a little bit more range, to be honest. And we got a small flag here. If you look at the flag here, the height of this candle, So we have a pretty nice range here on TTS. Looking at a flag here, probably end up having some follow through move. We have a couple of different levels here that we can work with. Right now, it seems like we might end up having a little bit of support. I'm gonna add it on the watch list. I'm gonna keep it on watch and see if we can get into that pocket there. So right now, intraday is not looking too well. It needs a little bit more volume. Only 306,000 shares traded today, but I'll keep it on watch because it could not turn out to be interesting over the next couple of days if he gets a little bit of more volume. If other people start to pay attention to this thing, we might end up, yeah, getting a little bit of volume and probably moving in the way that I'm expecting. So again, a couple of different levels that we can work with. We need to break with the 3 because we got a 298 right here. So we got a 298. We need to break over the 3. See if we can get inside of this pocket here. And then we got 3, break out of 3, and then 351 resistance. And then we have a 412. So 50 cent move, you know. So we have a decent pocket here that we could use. A couple of different key areas, and now I'm scanning this stocks, and I'm trying to kind of use a price range that I can work with, because if I'm gonna do this stuff and I'm gonna fund that account the way that I'm talking about doing it over this week, and it's not going to be such a huge amount of money on that account to do the small challenge. I mean the small account challenge, or whatever the way it's called. I'm trying to find stocks on a price point that I can work with, but at the same time, none of those crazy things with huge amount of spread that can actually kill my account. So I'm trying to find something to work with and give you some value, guys, as well. So so far I've added TTS. I added TTS, Jill. So let me just write it down over here so you guys can see it anyway. Because TTS, Jill, which other one? Meth and ENDP. So 4 stocks just added to the watch list. I keep watching AC. What is that? AC. It's ACR. I think Matt, you talked about this a couple of minutes ago. Maybe not. Maybe yes. I can't remember. But I've been watching this stock because we have a pretty nice range all the way over the $5 mark. And let me just try to bring it over to you so you can see it. And I still have this one on the daily here. We keep on creeping up here. We need to break the high of this candle. $3.44, right? So 350 will be lovely. And we have this nice over the 350 to the 550 area here. Great. Yeah, I was out asking me to I was asking to let me show your message or not. So I just it didn't come out right away because you needed approval for that message for some reason. I don't know why. HDSN. Okay. So ACOR, I'm still watching that over the last few, actually week or so, and well, let me just give you this one because I forgot to mention this one. CISN. Also, that one is on watch, uh, and I've been watching that one since the last few weeks. If you notice right here, we have a couple of different pockets right here as well. Nice key levels to work with. So again, guys, those are the stocks that I'm actually watching as of right now. I'm gonna bring HDSN. Looking for the 5 minutes. And let me see if we got some news on HDSN. Because it obviously it had a nice spike today. Last news that we have here was on August 14th. No news as of right now. Still moving on the after hours session of the day. Extended hours sitting over the 50. Going back to the daily. Pretty nice spike on the daily candles here. Now, the only thing that I really don't know, um, there's a couple of ways that you can search for the news. Like, for example, you can go to Benzinga, and I'll definitely recommend doing this. You can go to benzinga.com. There's a lot of news that they put out, and obviously, that's if you want the live feed, you can sign up. And again, it could be a little pricey though. uh, if you only want to get the news that they actually write about the stocks, you don't have to sign up. You just look for the ticker symbol, and the stocks will pop on you. So you can also go to Market Watch. Sometimes Finviz, as you can see here, you can price it. For example, let's just see here. HDSN, right? Let me just show you here real quick. But one of the things that I actually do, to be honest, because it comes with an account on TD Ameritrade, is that I for example on TC2000 I don't pay for the news. I don't pay for the news on TC2000 because that's a different fee. That's another like another $15 to $20 just for the news. But I have news included on my Thinkorswim account. I have an account with TD Ameritrade, and because I have an account with them, then the news come for free. So I just type those things there. Like, let me try to show you guys real quick here. Let me try to see if I can add that feed on the screen, so that way you can see. But if you want to go to Benzinga, for example, on Benzinga, you will find that very convenient thing. You type the ticker symbol, and yeah, I gotta delete this thing here. Just bear with me for a second. But anyway, let me go to Finviz and show you in Finviz real quick before we do that. Why is it? Oh, yeah, I'm doing the wrong thing here. Well, yeah, I figured there was something wrong. And so we're gonna search for HDSN on Finviz to try to find news. And if you come down here, you're gonna see a lot of information about the stock, right? And there's the float and all that kind of stuff. Let me ask you a question, guys. Do you guys know how to find the float of a stock not using, for example, if you don't subscribe to something that you pay for? Like, what I'm trying to ask you is, like, do you know where to find the float of a stock and find that information for free on the web. If not, I can just go through that with you guys as of right now and try to show you guys how to find that info. And I think that Finbiz also has that kind of stuff here. Let me see if he has it. If not, then I'll have to go to the other side to try to show you guys the float. Uh, oh, yeah, it's already here on Finbiz, so that we don't have to go to. Okay, you see, you have a formula for that, but again, it's people that didn't know that, and if they were looking for that on a website, and there are a couple of websites that will give you that information. For example, Finbiz right here, it shows you the float, and the float is 30.50 million, and the short float right now is 19%. Okay, so the news, you can search for the news right here. Last news that came out was August 14th. The same thing that I can see here on the thing that I was trying to show you. But again, going back to uh, the other platform, I'm going to try to show you here my Thinkorswim thing. And I'll show you this in a second. So oftentimes when I see stocks and I want to find out what they're going on, I just write it right here. For example, right there, you can see HDSN, and I just click right here, and it just pops on my screen. See there, I can, you know, read all the news. That's all of the stuff's right there. So I get all of the free news and all that kind of stuff. Again, I can have a live market feed right here at the bottom as well, with a TD Ameritrade network and all that kind of stuff. So it comes with the account, but that's one of the ways that I find a news on the market when I'm looking for the news. And let's see, I already taken that one out in regards to the news. Any other question, guys? I think I was, oh, okay. I was going into HDSN. The problem with this one, although it just ramp up today, is that the candles for me, it doesn't show me a lot of range. It doesn't show me that, although it showed that there is a former runner, right? I don't know how far it could go. And when the stock actually, increased the amount that it did today, 93%, uh, it closed 93% positive today. It was just 30-cent move intraday, right? But oh, I was showing something else. 33% intraday here. 30 cents, 31-cent move, 100% increase all the way to the 62. I will definitely be watching it tomorrow. I think so. Again, I gotta watch the reaction for tomorrow's price, because here's another thing. We're close to the 50, right? But I can see here on this area we have a topping candle here. Inverted hammer, right? A low 61 and the high. The open is 62, right? It closed right at 62. So we have this stopping candle right at 62, exactly where we closed today. No news, nothing out at all. Actually, this thing is wrong. What is this showing me here? High this candle is 64. Tapping candle here 68. That Dragonfly Doji, my apologies. I was looking at the wrong candle. So again, no news whatsoever. You can see this little bit of resistance right here in this area. Coming up on that spike with no news, yes, it could probably be a pretty good short for tomorrow. Again, we're sitting too close to the 50, ramp up a no news, and you see there's a lot of levels right here on those candles that really show that there's a bunch of resistance all over the place here. We have no range whatsoever. So it might end up being a pretty good short for tomorrow. I wouldn't bet long on this stock, to be honest. Not that I'm gambling or nothing like that, but it's just something that I wouldn't do really. Guys, if there's no other questions, I think if you have any questions, just pop it real quick because it's 9:20. I've been live streaming for an hour and 20 minutes already, and I want to go take a shower and maybe hit the bed in a little while, maybe in the next hour or so. Try to get some rest for tonight. So if you guys have any other questions, if not, I will just see you tomorrow again. You guys let me know. And I thank you in advance for being here with me tonight. Of course, man. No problem. Again, guys, I'll be live streaming tomorrow again at 8 o'clock. And I'll be live streaming tomorrow again in the morning at 9 in the morning. From 9 to 9:15, I'll start the stream on YouTube. If you want to join me, you're welcome to do so. And as I always say, I appreciate you guys being here with me. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Happy trading, and I will see you back here tomorrow, God willing. Take care, guys.